On the phone with us right now, we have Lucy, who is Little Lapin. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, thank you, Sara.
So for our listeners, how would you describe your sound?
My sound is a blend of like singer-songwriter, indie, alternative. I also have a five-piece band in Auckland. I do solo gigs as well, so there is a bit of a mixture depending on what people prefer. They prefer the raw acoustic sound or full band side thing.
Yeah. So have you always been into music, or what got you into music?
Yeah, I've always liked music. I've grown up listening to music and playing. I started playing the piano at a young age and flute, a recorder, which was like a kind of an absolute necessary when you're at school. And then I taught myself guitar a few years ago and started writing songs a bit more seriously for the stage. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So is there a story behind the name Little Lapin?
That's a nickname from school. My friend and I were doing French together and we really liked the sound of it. And she was like, "Oh, you're such a lapin," which is French for rabbit.
Oh, yeah. So your song, Waiting Room, was chosen amongst thousands to feature on the US Under the Radar's digital sampler for the Winter 2000 edition. How did that feel for you, and how do you think it has affected your listenership?
That was really cool for me because it meant that I was taken a bit more seriously by people. And also just to have, your song in a playlist, like with other, real decent acts such as Suede, and I think it was also local natives were on the same playlist. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So not only did your EP come out last year, you also released your song Sound of Summer afterwards. Is that meaning an upcoming album is in the works for this year, maybe?
Yeah, well, actually, this morning I'm going to be recording some vocals for the album.
Awesome.
And, so that's what I'm going to do today on Why Tiny Day. So, yeah, there is an album that I'm working on and that hopefully should be released in April or May.
Awesome. So you've also just finished your big tour around the country. How was that?
Yeah, it was awesome. I spent 3 weeks cruising in a van with Eden Roberts on the North and South Island. Did like 3,500 k's. And awesome just going through all the little towns. We're so appreciative of musicians coming through.
Definitely.
So I was actually a little bit bummed to leave the South Island. It was so beautiful.
Well, yeah, I guess it's annoying when you live in a little town and have to go to the big city to see a good show. Everyone was pretty grateful.
Oh, man, and it's just amazing because compared to the cities, what we'd found is the smaller towns were most appreciative. Because I suppose they're not, they don't have hate with the Wellington and Auckland. I think there's always so much choice. Less people are gonna, come to your shows, whereas the smaller towns, less is happening, so they make more of an effort to come.
Yeah. You'll need to come to Palmerston North sometime.
Oh, okay. Well, invite me and I will.
Also, you did mention before how you sometimes perform with your Auckland-based band, but you did your tour as a stripped-back acoustic guitar and vocal set. What made you decide to do that for the tour?
A couple of things, really. Basically, my band are in our 30s, all of us, and the family, for them, I don't have children, but most of them do, and for them to be spending 3 weeks on the road is a long time.
Yeah.
Also, it's financial because, you're lucky to break even on your first tour of New Zealand, so it was, financial, logistical, and situational as well, But also, I think it's really cool because the audiences that I got at my shows for this tour were a lot more mature than, if you come to a band, you usually get your young, cool kids coming along, but it was a real intimate vibe, and I kind of really liked that as well as sharing stories. It was more about storytelling. Yeah. I
guess it makes a bit of a bigger, connection, to the audience, maybe?
Exactly. Yeah, totally. totally.
So other than the album in the works, what does 2014 mean for you, and what do you hope to do this year?
Well, yeah, I feel like it's a really good year already. Like I've started it as I mean to go on, so starting with a tour and recording the album, and hopefully I want to get my EP and album promoted overseas as well, and I'd love to do a tour in the States.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm kind of aiming to do, and also to do a tour with my band next time, because I really miss them.
Awesome. Thanks so much for talking to us.
No worries. Thank you for asking me and having me on your show, and I'm stoked to be the first interview in 2014.
I know, right? We haven't talked to anyone yet. And we play your music quite a lot on here. We've played Silent Tears a lot on here.
Oh, thank you so much.
But
that's awesome.
We're gonna change it up a little bit. We're gonna play your song "Sound of Summer" right now, considering it's a pretty nice day here at the moment. So hopefully this will get people in a good mood. So thanks very much.
Thank you so much. And how did you hear about me?
I think I heard from my manager. He found you, and we've had you on our playlist for a while. So you've been making the rounds here in Palmy. So I think people would have now heard of you here now. So that's awesome. So that's why you need to come, because you might have some fans here.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. That's awesome. Well, if any of your listeners want to win a copy of my EP, if you want to do a little phone-in, that's
awesome.
I'll give away a copy.
Definitely. Cool. We're going to play your song "Sound of Summer" right now for our listeners. This is Little Lapin, and have a nice day, everyone.
And you take care. Bye.
I'll give you a laugh, not a frown.